Tunecore versus DistroKid. You've come across this video because you want to see who is better. Is it DistroKid or is it Tunecore? I'm going to try to give you an honest and impartial view of both so you can make your own opinion to see which one is better for you, because there are a lot of things that come into play with choosing the right music distributor. So I want to structure this video in a little bit of a way. So let's talk about the price. So let's compare the price of Tunecore versus the price of DistroKid. Let's also compare and give a behind the scenes look of Tunecore and a quick behind the scenes look of DistroKid. The third thing, let's talk about feature sets. What are the bells and whistles, the features that Tunecore offers versus the features that DistroKid offers? Then finally, let's conclude it with the pros and cons of each Tunecore and DistroKid, and then give you our review and what we think is a better platform. Basically, if you don't know, they get your music on the streaming services. They're the middleman. You bring your song to them and they're going to push it out. They're going to upload it to Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Amazon. In return to that, they're going to give you 100% of your music streaming royalties that you make from that. Okay, so that's what the music distributor is. Let's get into how much each costs. Let's start with Tunecore and then we'll get into DistroKid. Tunecore charges you $10 a song. So most people release songs nowadays, right? So Tunecore is going to charge you $10 per year. And then if you want to release an album, you pay $30, but then you pay $50 the following year. They also give ringtones. I don't know, does anyone release ringtones anymore? We can scroll down here and there are some distribution credits. If you want to get 5 credits, you could spend $45 and that will save you 10%. So they have this distribution credits kind of to incentivize you. If you want to release more music, you can buy credits to save money. Let's jump over to DistroKid here and talk about what the cost of DistroKid is. DistroKid has 3 plans. They give you a plan at $20 a year, a plan at $36 a year, and a plan at $80 a year. That's it. Fairly simple. So the plan at $20 a year, you can upload as many songs as you want, and that is included in all the plans. So DistroKid is saying, like, just upload as much music as you can ever want. With the musician plan at $20 a year, you can upload unlimited songs, but they're going to limit you. The 2 big limitations in this plan, in my opinion, are you're not allowed to customize the label name or the release date. So that can be significant if you're an independent musician and you're running a marketing campaign. You cannot customize your release date. So you can't tell DistroKid, hey, I want this song out on June 16th. That won't happen. They just pushed it out to Spotify and the streaming services when you upload it. So that's significant, which means that you will likely jump to this $36 a year plan where you can do that. You can customize your label name, release date. You can do a pre-order. You can customize the iTunes pricing, and you can have more than one artist name. So you can maybe share it with a friend, or you have 2 artist names yourself. Besides this one, we have the label plan at $80 a year, which is basically the Musician Plus plan, but you just get way more artists, up to 100 artists. So let's do a comparison here. What's cheaper? What's better? Well, let's say on average, you will likely, as an independent musician, want a Musician Plus plan, right? Because you want to customize your release name and label name. Okay, so let's say you're spending $36 a year. On Tunecore, if you want to release one song, then you're only paying $10 a year. So if you just want to release one song a year, well, Tunecore is going to be less expensive. It's $10 for one song. Versus DistroKid, you actually are going to spend minimum of $20 if you want to release one song. However, you're likely wanting to release more than one song, right? Okay, so if you're going to go with the Musician Plus plan at $36 a year, that would mean that you should release at least 4 songs to break even with Tunecore, right? Because if we go back here to Tunecore, and if we release 4 songs a year on Tunecore, that's going to be $40 a year, right? However, we can go down, you can see here and get distribution credits. So we can get 5 credits. So that's $45. It will start to change when you release more music. If you're like, I want to release 300 songs, then I think the writing is on the wall here. It's fairly fairly easy to choose what distributor is right for you. I would go with DistroKid because there's unlimited songs here. You would have to pay for each song on Tunecore. Let's get a bit of behind the scenes look if you've never seen what it looks like behind the curtain on DistroKid and on Tunecore. Let's start with DistroKid this time around. This is what it looks like if you're just going to the website, right? There's hardly a menu, just a sign in button at the top. Sign up here, and there's a long list of testimonials. Not much is going on. Super simple. They really force the sign up so for you actually even to see the pricing page. So I'll show you what it looks like from behind the curtain. You have a small menu at the top. They're a little like alien green mascot. And then you have the 3 different pricing options: upload, my music, splits, stats, bank, and goodies. Goodies is kind of like their bells and whistles, extra features. We'll get into that in the next section. I really just want to point out upload in this section, where this is the process of actually what you would do to get your song on the streaming services. Go through the information. It's very straightforward. Artist name, release date, record label. You can put a custom name in here. And this, by the way, this record label and release date will only show up if you're on the Musician Plus plan. These 2 fields won't be there if you're just on the $20 a year plan. Album artwork, language, song title, and then you have a couple of other tidbits here that we're going to get into in the next section. These are kind of cool little extra features, but they're going to cost you. This is $13 a month. This is $5 a year plus 20%. Well, let's get into that in the next section. This is what it looks like behind the scenes of Tunecore. Noticeably much more going on, maybe not as simple of a design, but let's get into a little bit. I do want to mention, just like I did in DistroKid, the music section here, and then add a single. This is where we would, upload our song. And this goes for all distributors. They're going to ask for the same information, and that's just because it's standardized across all the streaming services. All the streaming services need the same information. So that's why you have primary genre and secondary genre. That's why the same thing happened on DistroKid. So it's all the same stuff. You don't have to worry about bringing anything other than really your album artwork and your song itself in WAV file type. They're going to give you the ISRC code and UPC codes. Both platforms will give you that at no extra cost. That's included in the cost you pay on an annual level. By comparison to like how music is uploaded on both, they're the same. One or the other is really not that much better. Let's talk about some of the features now and compare Tunecore versus DistroKid. Who comes out on top when it comes to features? DistroKid isn't really feature rich. They are really simple and get your music on the streaming services. They do offer a little bit. So this is where you're going to see a little bit of features they have. Under Get Heard Now, they do have these 3 areas where you can have the opportunity to try to get on playlists. So that's cool. Promote yourself. The biggest thing here, in my opinion, is this hyperfollow, which is a page that's going to help you promote your song. And if your song isn't released yet, you can drive traffic to Spotify to pre-save the song. If your song is released, it can just be kind of a launch point for people to just be linked out to these streaming services. These type of things, mini videos, meme generator, promo cards, this stuff is cool. It's really like not super great in my opinion. They're just seem a little childish to me. So I've never actually gone and used any of this. So besides these ones, there are some down here that I did mention, right? So let's get into that. YouTube Content ID. This is fairly standard across the industry. When it comes to music distributors, they're going to offer YouTube Content ID. They'll likely charge you an annual fee and take 20% of the YouTube revenue. So YouTube Content ID, that just means if someone else plays your song in their YouTube video, you get paid for that. Yeah, that's it. You get paid for that. That's the end of the sentence. Then you have these other features. Store Maximizer at $8 a year. That's really just an upsell thing. Like if they add a new store, they're going to automatically add your song to it. This is cool. The social phone number. So you can get a real US phone number where you can post publicly, text with fans or anyone and collect their phone numbers. That's a pretty cool feature in my opinion it's a new marketing feature that you can just get a phone number and then start texting your fans like right away. I think that's pretty cool. It is costly though at $13 a month. Loudness normalization. This is kind of like a bit of a last minute mastering. You should not need this at all if your song is mastered. Shazam and iPhone. This is cool because you want your song to be available on Shazam. Title Master and Leave a Legacy, these aren't necessarily features, they're just kind of extras. Let's go over to TuneCore now and talk about the biggest feature, which is TuneCore Publishing. TuneCore Publishing they will act as your publisher. And if you don't know what a publisher is, well, a publisher helps you manage your royalties, really, in your song catalog. Specifically, TuneCore is going to help you manage your admin publishing, which means like administrative publishing, which is more or less the nitty-gritty of collecting your royalties internationally and in your home country too. So if your song is being played throughout the world on radio, on streaming services and cafes, on the internet, this triggers a royalty and you need to get paid for that. The money just doesn't like come to you, right? You need to collect that, and you need an admin publisher to collect that for you, or another online service. TuneCore offers this service right within their music distribution. They charge you $75 one-time fee and a 15% commission. If they manage to get you a sync deal, they're going to charge you 20% commission on that. TuneCore Social is another feature they offer on TuneCore, and you can see it really just helps you manage your social media. It's free if you want to, but it doesn't really offer much, to be honest. Free, to really get the benefit, you would need to pay $8 a month or $86 a year. Here, you're going to be able to automatically post and schedule to Facebook or Twitter, photo editor, you get premium photo editing and add-ons, you get social analytics, and you can compare social accounts with comparative reporting. Personally, I don't like using another service to manage my social media. I find I can get a lot done with just using other services. I'm more comfortable with that. But if you like to have everything in one place with your music distributor, this could be very cool for you and very good for you. There is also a link share. So very similar to the hyperfollow in the goodies section on DistroKid. TuneCore also gives you this link where you can do the pre-save and kind of direct people to streaming services. YouTube Content ID is also something available. With TuneCore, it's $10 one-time setup fee with a 80-20 split, you keeping 80, them keeping 20. So TuneCore's YouTube Content ID is more expensive up front. But if you stay longer than 2 years, you're going to be spending less than DistroKid, because with DistroKid you're spending $5 a year, and that never ends until you take your music down. Let's funnel all the information that we've learned in this video, because if you're made it this far in the video and you're an independent artist, you're still like, cool, thanks for telling me all about this comparison of DistroKid versus TuneCore, but I still don't know who to go with. So first, decide how much music do you want to release. If you say to me, I want to release 15 songs and I know they're going to be on YouTube, then I would say, well, right now, probably start with DistroKid, because you can release unlimited songs and you can just test the waters out with a music distributor because they're very simple. Completely on the other hand, if you come to me and say, I want to release 4 songs this year, and I promote a lot of my music on the radio with another radio promoter, then I would say, well, you should be going with TuneCore because, well, one, you're not releasing that much music, so it's less expensive, but also, hey, you might be interested in their publishing feature because you're doing a lot of radio promotion that's having your music being played all over the world. It really depends on what kind of musician you are, how much music you want to release, and where you are doing your own music promotion. Is it internationally? Is it locally? Who are you going to go with? Do you have experience with DistroKid? Do you have experience with TuneCore? I'm very curious to hear your pros, also your cons. Let's hear both sides to the coin. I want to debate in the comments to see which music distributor is better. As always, if you are an independent musician and you're looking to grow and find more indie music marketing tips, please feel free to subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next video.